8 weeks, Stearns and Wheeler.
Is a summary of the needs assessment as well as the alternative screening analysis. And through the presentations that you've seen over the last few months, you've really been exposed to a lot of this, the needs, the nitrogen, the total organic carbon, the ponds, some of the alternatives associated with total organic carbon to meet the new drinking water standards. So you've seen quite a bit of this, and particularly the watersheds to which they apply. And you all have seen this figure right here, which is the estimated wastewater nitrogen removals that have been suggested by Massachusetts DEP in the existing situation. This figure is a bit confusing because, you know, there are some sub-areas where you need to take a lot out, some that you're allowed to put some more in, and it's very specific to one of the model runs that the Massachusetts Estuaries Project did, but it's also indicative of the sensitivity of some of these sub-estuaries. And certainly the upper parts of the estuaries are more sensitive than the lower parts, which take advantage of good tidal flushing. And then the upper watersheds, which drain through freshwater systems, tend to not be as sensitive because they take advantage of natural nitrogen attenuation. And that was the basis of these detailed numbers. In the report, you're going to be seeing this, certainly, but you'll also be seeing something that's a little bit more averaged, which would tend to be applied here. And this figure doesn't have the numbers on it, but in Pompanesett Bay, on average, 61% of the wastewater nitrogen needs to be removed. In Three Bay, it's about 60%. In Centerville River system, it's approximately 34%. But you'll remember from the previous slide that the Estuaries Project indicated that that should be removed from the eastern side. And then Lewis Bay has about 40% removal. So those are, you know, just some of the no restrictions that, no restrictions.
They're
right
just
now.
there.
Yeah, those are a comprehensive wastewater management plan, CWMP, which has some regulatory guidance associated with it. People know what you're talking about when you say CWMP, and that has been, that is the title of the report that you're going to be seeing when it comes to you as a draft. If you want to change the title to be something else, I think that that's certainly within your purview to do that. The way comprehensive wastewater management plans are being done is that they really are water resource management. It is looking at the effects of the way we create dirty water, whether it's stormwater, whether it's fertilizer inputs, whether it's water that comes out of septic tanks or out of treatment plants or whatever, and what sort of effects it has on the water resources and the various defined limits that are out there. And it really is the defined limits that are what we can actually grasp. There are some undefined limits that it's always a little bit harder to get at, and we sometimes have to make decisions that are based on judgment of how the limits may realize in the future.
Thank you. Lindsay, just to let you know, my early conversations with the council president indicated that our charge is very broad indeed. In fact, as broad as we wanted it to be in that regard. And they felt, despite the title, that this was truly going to be a comprehensive plan. Everything from the ponds to the well water supplies to the estuaries. It was originally driven by the
budget in this planning process to do all of that. I, spent a long time in the review committee for this, selecting this consultant for this, and if we leave anything on the table and we come to the end point and we haven't got enough on X, Y, or Z, that's going to be a big disappointment. So, let's just make sure we're getting all of the planning processes in the works so we don't come to that point.
and it's been suggested to us that if we